Thanks, Kansas City, for making us #1. This is KMBC 9 News at 5.
Mr. Simpson is a wanted murder suspect, 2 counts of murder, a terrible crime. We need to find him, we need to apprehend him, we need to bring him to justice.
The manhunt is on tonight. O.J. Simpson now charged with the brutal murders of his ex-wife and her male friend.
Good evening, everyone. O.J. Simpson has disappeared tonight.
The former football great agreed to turn himself in this morning, and the Los Angeles Police Department says it is very unhappy that he hasn't.
ABC's Gary Shepard joins us now from Los Angeles with the very latest on this strange turn of events.
Los Angeles police officially filed murder charges against O.J. Simpson today. He is now formally accused of the double murders last Sunday night of his ex-wife Nicole and a male friend of hers, a waiter at a restaurant where she had dinner a few hours before she died.
We believe we know who's responsible for the crime. We certainly have, to the degree of satisfaction necessary to us, to obtain a warrant. We believe him to be the suspect, and that's why we're looking for him now.
The complaint filed against O.J. Simpson claims he committed the brutal murders with malice aforethought and that he personally used a deadly and dangerous weapon, a knife, to carry out the slayings. O.J. Simpson's lawyer claims his client was at home awaiting arrival of a limousine to take him to the airport for a previously planned business trip at the time of the murders. But his blood type was found at the crime scene, and there were reports of bloodstains on his driveway and in his vehicle. Simpson has remained out of sight, except for attending his former wife's memorial service and funeral. At his home in the Brentwood section of Los Angeles, fans gathered in shock.
It's so unbelievable that someone could do something of this magnitude, the gruesomeness of it. I can't conceive of it.
I'm devastated about it. I'm very shocked. It's just unbelievable. It's just overwhelming.
O.J. Simpson is also accused of special circumstances in committing the murders. If he is ever convicted, that means he is eligible for the death penalty. If he is ever taken into custody, he will be held without bail. Gary Shepard, ABC News, reporting live from Los Angeles. Now back to you.
And we do now have a late-breaking special report from ABC News. The L.A. District Attorney apparently making an appeal to the public for help in finding O.J.
This is live from Los Angeles.
Case. Many of us perhaps had empathy to some extent. We saw perhaps the falling of an American hero. To some extent, I viewed Mr. Simpson in the same way. But let's remember, we have 2 innocent people who have been brutally killed. We have their families who are still with us today, who are going to suffer for the rest of their lives, including the children of the Simpsons. It's a serious case. We will continue to treat it seriously. We will be working closely with the Los Angeles Police Department. I want to go out of my way to congratulate the Los Angeles Police Department in the outstanding professional investigation that led to the filing of these criminal charges. Phil Van Adder and Tom Lang are absolutely top-flight investigators, and they've done a superb job. We will find Mr. Simpson, and we are going to bring him to justice. If you have any questions, I will attempt to address them, but it's going to be difficult.
Who is primarily responsible for Mr. Simpson having disappeared?
Don't blame anyone. I mean, look at how many people are here today. How many members of the media have been surrounding Mr. Simpson's house, and he was able to get away somehow. I understand that. What I'm trying to do is I don't want to put blame on anyone. Mr. Simpson, we were prepared to arrest Mr. Simpson after the scientific evidence had come back, and we were satisfied. We now have sufficient evidence to go forward. For the laws, let me finish. The Los Angeles Police Department didn't know exactly where he was. We'd been in contact with the lawyer. We don't know where Mr. Simpson is. That's the bottom line.
When was it point that you were prepared?
I'm sorry, just a minute.
You were prepared to arrest him when the scientific evidence came back?
Would have been, we made the decision late yesterday afternoon, early evening.
So he could have been arrested theoretically at any time after that. You didn't know where he was.
We didn't have the reports. You have to have, before you, I mean, this gets very technical, but before you can go in and get a warrant, you have to have the actual documents. LAPD was working all night to get the actual paperwork so that we could go into court to get the arrest warrant. Let's go, just a minute, just one at a time, please.
Okay,
Go ahead.
on the special circumstances,
Yes.
what specifically on the murder charge makes it that way? Was it like lying in wait? Do you have other...
No, the special circumstance is the simple fact that it's a double homicide. That's it. Just what?
Can you tell us what conversation you had last night in the morning with Mr. Shapiro, and what he said to you about producing O.J. Simpson?
No, you're begging the question. I had no conversations with Mr. Shapiro last night or this morning. I had a conversation with Mr. Shapiro with others present on my speakerphone after Mr. Simpson had left the premises of where Mr. Shapiro was. It's in the San Fernando Valley someplace. Mr. Shapiro expressed surprise that when Los Angeles Police Department showed up to make the arrest, take him into custody, that Mr. Simpson could not be found. Just a minute. Just go ahead.
When was Mr. Simpson officially informed that he would be placed under arrest and charged with murder?
We made, this office and the Los Angeles Police Department actually made contact with Mr. Shapiro this morning, approximately 8:30. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm not going to speculate as to what happened. There were physicians that apparently were seen examining Mr. Simpson at a particular residence. That's all I know. Just a minute, Mr. Goodman.
Can you tell us about the 911 call to Cole Brown Simpson's townhouse at the short time ago where the police currently are?
I do know a little about it, but I'm not at liberty, I think, to really discuss it. I'm not, this could be proved to be wrong, but I'm not overly concerned about what's taking place at that location right now, based on the information that I have currently received. Just a minute.
That they were ready to put Mr. Simpson under arrest Monday or Tuesday, and that your office held up that arrest. What do you have to say in response?
That's inaccurate. Yes, just a minute. No. Mr. Shapiro was informed that Los Angeles Police Department did not know where he was. That is where Mr. Simpson was. Contact was made with Mr. Shapiro. Mr. Shapiro was told, you surrender him at 11 o'clock at Parker Center. He agreed.
When was the last time that anybody in LA law enforcement knew for certain Mr. Simpson's whereabouts?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know.
Let's assume for the minute that we find him or he is found shortly. Can you talk without going into too much of your evidence in your case about what you believe happened Sunday night? What happened at the murder scene?
No, even though I'm upset and angry about what is taking place right now, in fairness to Mr. Simpson, it would not be fair if we started discussing the evidence, especially before even his lawyers have looked at the evidence. I am personally satisfied. I have 2 top lawyers who've looked at it, plus other lawyers in our office. There was substantial evidence there warranting these charges.
Well, without discussing the evidence, is it possible
Just
to get
one more.
in general terms what happened?
We have not found the murder weapon. It's,
You say it's a knife?
it's a knife. It's a knife.
Mr. Garcetti, we have information that these were very, very severe wounds that could only be caused by something other than a conventional knife, if you will. Can you somehow, I realize since you don't have it, you can't be precise, but can you characterize it in any way? Obviously, this is not a pocket knife we're talking about.
It's a substantial knife.
There's no allegation of lying in wait in the complaint?
No.
That a decision that-
Let me point something out. The investigation is still ongoing. In fact, I would urge any viewers, any listeners, anyone who reads your newspapers, that if you are in the vicinity of Bundy and Wilshire Boulevard on Sunday night, if you have any information that might assist us, contact the Los Angeles Police Department. As I said, the investigation is still underway. We are not finished. The question was whether...
The District Attorney of Los Angeles discussing the O.J. Simpson case and asking the community for help in finding O.J. Simpson. He is wanted tonight for murder.
And if there are any further developments in this case, we will, of course, bring them to you, and we will be back right after this.
Closed captioning of KMBC 9 News is a community service of PHP, Preferred Health Professionals, dedicated to bringing you high-quality, affordable health care.
Full-size truck, $13,495. Mazda 626, 0 down, $199 a month. Over 50 used vehicles under $59.95. Save $6,000 on a Nissan or Toyota. Get 4.9 financing, only for a limited time. Only during mid-year clearance, and only at the Olathe Auto Plaza, the outlet.
At Worlds of Fun, just $9.95 with a 2-liter Diet Coke or caffeine-free Diet Coke label. It's fun in the dark.
Now at the Superior Auto Mall, Kansas City's used cars and truck source. Superior buying power, discounts, and financing. Choose from a superior selection of used cars and trucks at just $89.95. Get an '89 Buick Park Avenue or an '89 Ford F-150 XLT Lariat or a '90 Ford F-150 XLT Lariat for just $89.95. That's right, just $89.95. Why pay more for your next used car or truck? Save at the source. Superior Auto Mall. Exit State Line from I-435 to 103rd Street.
They say the best keep getting better. And what could be better than a Harold Penner suit for $58? Better is 2 suits for $100. Better yet is our designer collection. Buy 1 suit and get not 1, but 2 suits free. That's 3 suits for the price of 1. Even better is 1 free shirt, 1 free tie, and 1 free pair of Sanzabelt slacks when you get 3 suits for the price of 1. Harold Penner's is better because we give you a better deal, guaranteed.
Sentra, 0 down, $149 a month. Tercel, 0 down, $129 a month. Over 50 used vehicles under $59.95. Save $6,000 on a Chevy or Mazda. Get 4.9 financing, only for a limited time. Only during mid-year clearance, and only at the Olathe Auto Plaza, the outlet.
In other news tonight, tense moments in Kansas City, Kansas today. Police say a man held 2 teens hostage this morning just west of Wyandotte County Lake. They say it started when the gunman broke into a house and demanded money from a young teen. The burglary continued at another house after the suspect released 2 other teens he was holding hostage. Police began talking with the barricaded gunman by phone. Then they say without warning, he walked out and surrendered.
Never been frightened living here. I've never been afraid, worried about anything, but it's kind of caused me maybe to be a little bit more concerned and watchful.
Police say the 21-year-old Victor King faces numerous charges, including kidnapping and burglary. Police also recovered a 9mm machine pistol from the home after he surrendered.
The second of Ann Harrison's 2 killers has been sentenced to death. Michael Taylor did not react as the sentence was pronounced by Judge Michael Coburn. Harrison was kidnapped and stabbed to death in the trunk of a car. The judge called the crime outrageous. Last month, Roderick Nunley was also sentenced to death in the killing.
We don't have to tell you how hot, humid, and sticky it is again today, and it may stay that way for quite a while. Brenda Washington was out and about to see how people are keeping cool.
90-plus degrees, and it isn't even officially summer yet.
I think it's great.
I like it myself. But others don't like the heat. Louise Monaco prefers staying inside playing cards with friends at Don Bosco Center.
You got to find somewhere where it's cool.
Oh, is that him? That's him. Down the hall, other people play pool. Angelo DeFeo has 2 fans at home, but he'd rather be here where it's cooler.
So we spend a lot of time here playing pool.
No one has to worry about these active kids getting overheated in this air-conditioned gymnasium. These youngsters are staying inside to make Father's Day cards.
We have air conditioning, and it gets really cold when we take a nap.
But
yes, it does.
Heat and humidity can affect all of us, especially those who work outside. But you can beat the heat by spending as much time as possible where it's cool. Drink plenty of fluids and avoid alcohol. Eat regular meals. If the heat begins to make you feel weak, dizzy, or confused, call 911. And be sure to check on relatives or friends who are elderly, ill, or disabled. But of course, one of the more fun ways to beat the heat is a dip in the pool. Brenda Washington, KMBC 9 News.
Of course, Brian will have more about our heat wave a little later in our newscast.
Meanwhile, the Royals are in town all weekend battling the Heat and the Mariners.
And Karen is out at the ballpark to tell us what's ahead in sports. Karen?
We'll be talking about the Royals as well as a final goodbye to Arnold Palmer. All that when we come up.
It's red, it's hot, and it saves you money. It's the Red Hot Summer Price Slash going on now only at Superior Mazda. Right now, every model, every color, every Mazda car and truck has been slashed in price. Get more for less. Get 94 Mazda Proteges as low as $88.88. Save $6,000 on a new Mazda. Get a 95 Mazda Millennium for $299 a month. Get a 94 Mazda 626 for $12,988, just $188 a month. If price is important to you, you must go to Superior Mazda right now. It's red, it's hot, and it saves you money. It's the Red Hot Summer Price Slash now at Superior Mazda.
On Father's Day Sunday, it's off to the races for Dad, and every fan's a winner. That's right, on June 19th, every fan at the Woodlands gets a beautiful embroidered cap free. And every cap has a prize inside. Some have instant cash. It could be $50 or $100. Inside one lucky cap, $5,000. Fans will share more than $25,000 in total cash and prizes. Post time 1:30.
You can make Dad feel like a winner.
Well, these floor lamps aren't the same. The one from Venture comes with a matching table lamp, free. So which one would you rather have?
Now at the Superior Auto Mall, Kansas City's used cars and truck source. Superior buying power, discounts, and financing. Choose from a superior selection of used cars and trucks at just $11,995. Get an '89 Cadillac Seville or a '90 Cadillac Eldorado Barrettes, or choose a '90 Cadillac Sedan DeVille, all for just $11,995. That's right, just $11,995. Why pay more for your next used car or truck? Save at the source. Superior Auto Mall. Exit State Line from I-435 to 103rd Street.
I have to tell you, we're kind of warm back here in the studio, but Karen's the one really battling the heat tonight at the ballpark.
And the Royals are getting ready to battle the Mariners in that heat, Karen.
That's right. I hope this sweat in the pregame turns into some high-powered bats tonight because they really have a good homestand going. So far, they have now taken 3 out of 4 games on this homestand. Tonight, they hope to improve that mark when they play Seattle in the second of this 4-game series. David Cohn and Dave Fleming will be on the mound. Meanwhile, take a look at the U.S. Open. This is to date so far. You can see that Montgomery is the leader right now through 17 holes. Nicklaus has also played 17, but he's fallen to -3. Irwin and Cook are tied at -4. Tom Watson having a bad day, shot 2 over par, so he drops to -1. But the player to watch today did not make the cut. That's Arnold Palmer. He shot an 81 for a 2-day total of 16 over par. Just listen to the crowd as Arnie walked up to the 18th green. After 40 years, Arnie was making his last appearance at the U.S. Open. His final walk to the 18th green, and the crowd's response just brought tears to his eyes. Cup soccer is underway, believe it or not. On to Chicago. This is the game between Germany and Bolivia. The Germans scored first when Jurgen Klinsmann found a wide-open empty net. He scores. It was 1-0 after 61 minutes. That turned out to be the final score. The United States plays Switzerland tomorrow. Then in Florida, the Super Greyhound just keeps on winning. Patsy Rendezvous won her 35th straight race last night at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. The Woodlands tell me that they're sending some dogs south to take her on. If she should lose, she may come up here for a stakes race. And meanwhile, if you're in the mood for dog racing, head out to the Woodlands because this Sunday, Father's Day, Dad will get a prize, a free hat. One other note from the ballpark to tell you about. The players are meeting at 5:40 to talk about what's going on as far as a possible player strike. We'll keep you posted as we find out information. That's it from the ballpark, a very hot ballpark. Larry and Kelly, back to you. We believe you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Just try to stay cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There is much more news coming up at 5 o'clock and also at 6.
And Lori's in the newsroom right now with the latest for us. Lori?
Kelly and Larry, a life or death decision for a convicted murderer. At 6, the fate of Michael Taylor, one of 2 men who kidnapped and killed a Raytown High School student. Also tonight, it's the most popular sport in the world, but will soccer ever take hold in this country? Some Kansas Cityans hope so. And a 7-year-old girl tells us about her dad. He's this year's Father of the Year. We'll have those stories and more coming up on our news tonight at 6.
Thanks, Lori. Well, keeping cool will definitely be the #1 challenge this weekend. Brian will be along with the forecast next.
And later in our Dream Factory segment, we'll meet 2 brothers who share the same dream.
In all of our lives, we need a place that makes us feel good.
Treasury Drug knows how you feel about saving money. That's why we're introducing our new Best Buys with great low prices throughout the store on lots of items, so you'll save more every day at Treasury Drug. Now, how does that make you feel?
Feeling good now. Trust us, so much better now. Treasury Drug.
When we say Dodge Neon is around 12.5 nicely loaded, just what does nicely loaded mean? Well, how about things like an automatic, air, power steering, power locks, power remote mirrors, rear window defroster, standard driver and front passenger airbags, and much more. Dodge Neon. For around 12.5, you can do quite nicely. Say hello to Dodge Neon at your friendly Dodge dealer today.
People don't have time anymore to make a decent meal, so they might enjoy rotisserie chicken that's slow roasted and deep marinated the way they do it if they had the time. And my secret recipe. Give someone a good meal at a fair price and they'll come back to you.
Come back to KFC. There's a Colonel's Rotisserie Gold deal that everyone can enjoy. Get a leg thigh quarter for just $1.79, a half for $3.49, and a whole Colonel's Rotisserie Gold chicken for only $6.99. So if you're dining alone or feeding the group, the Colonel's Way is still the best way.
Announcing the Casual Corner Suit Sale. The suit sale to suit you. Because right now, for a limited time only, every Casual Corner suit is 25 to 50% off. Soft, shaped, seasonless suits. As suitable for day as they are for night. And only at Casual Corner. So come to America's Suit Headquarters and save 25 to 50% at the Casual Corner Suit Sale. It's the suit sale to suit you.
I recently discovered an interesting parallel between Continental's Peanuts fares and my overalls. No restrictions.
Fly for peanuts on Continental.
You know, we keep talking about just how hot it is, so we want to remind you about a way that you can help people in need of heat relief by calling the Channel 9 Fan Club.
Volunteers have been taking calls all day long from people either needing help or wanting to help.
And there is a lot of need out there. Since this program started yesterday, we have already taken more than 500 calls, and most of them from people needing fans.
We're taking only cash donations this year. If you can help, call 968-9432 and do it now. Phone lines close at 6 o'clock this evening.
Now, many of you may remember that earlier this week, Brian was poolside trying to beat the heat that way.
Well, tonight he's lakeside in Smithville, and a big weekend going on there, Brian.
And a big lake, too.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable out here, as a matter of fact. What a backdrop. Now, what we're talking about is the a great summer getaway, as they're billing it over there. Powerboat racing. As a matter of fact, there are many different sorts of these particular that's what they're called, hydroplanes. Many different sorts that'll be racing out here. Right now, there's too much chop, so that's why you really don't see much going on, but it's looking pretty good. Weather-wise, though, expect high humidity and heat. As a matter of fact, if you want to see what one of these looks like, there you go. That's what they look like. They're trying to wait until just a little longer before they put one on in the water, and they really don't want to stay out in these sort of conditions with the winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour. That is not conducive for this sort of racing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but nonetheless, this will be happening all weekend long, and the weather will cooperate for the spectators, still questionable for the participants. How are you going to stay cool this weekend? Well, it's temperatures in the 90s. It's going to be relatively tough. Look at these numbers as reported at KCI. 91 degrees, which is our high for the day. 54% humidity makes it feel like 99. South winds at 12 miles an hour. The pressure 30.06 and falling, our high 91. Our low 76 degrees. Earlier, before I left the Weather Center, I called up a satellite photograph, and what it shows is a couple areas of thunderstorms, mainly to the north, way up north, as a matter of fact, over parts of the western Great Lakes. Those will never materialize down here. Remember that explanation of the cap I was talking about earlier this week? Well, it's back. A few clouds were able to penetrate the enemy lines, but that's about it. As far as organized precipitation, I don't see it. Humidity will be high. The winds will still be very strong out of the south. But as far as big clusters of thunderstorms, it's not going to be here. It should be confined mainly to the north. Temperatures from across the area tomorrow will show 90s and even 100s down over the deserts of the southwest. That expanding area at 90s, though, continues to grow. And what that means for us is we're going to be right in the clutches of a heat wave that should linger into part of the next work week. No relief in sight and no real good chance of strong organized precipitation until further notice, I'm afraid. So a dry period, although it is going to be in the humid side. Your forecast for this evening will still hold a few clouds around. We'll call it a mixture of sun and clouds. Temperatures will fall back into the mid-80s with this hazy sunshine. Overnight, clear skies and muggy. Our low drops down to about 76 degrees. South winds tapering off at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, just like today, still hot. High temperature 93, winds turn more southeast at 10 to 20. Hot encore on Sunday with a high temperature then of 92. Just in case you're going to be coming out to Smithville Lake, hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. So all weekend long, and there are other things that they have planned, including a beach party, which sounds pretty good too. So this may be the place to be this particular weekend. Not bad, huh?
Okay, a beach party sounds perfect, Brian.
I would think so. That way, if you're going to be hot, at least be hot with people you like, you know?
That's right.
Sure.
Have a little fun while you're doing it.
Exactly.
A little cool water at the side. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It's really nice up here, too.
So a lot of events coming up over the weekend at Smithville Lake.
Indeed.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian.
Sure, thank you, Brian. Well, it's Dream Factory time, and tonight we bring you a double feature. Two youngsters in the same family, two brothers, got to have their dreams come true. The same dream for each of them at the same time.
Which one? This one? Okay.
We arrived at the Montgomery home in time to join in some driveway basketball. 10-year-old Craig and 5-year-old Mike challenging their mom under the nets. And Craig is a pretty good shooter.
Most of the time I beat my mother.
Is that right? So she's just not very good, or are you just real good?
I practice a lot. Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain?
That one, I don't know that one.
Craig and Mike have a souvenir board of all the stops they made at Disney World. Both Craig and Mike have hemophilia. Their blood won't clot. And it was a pretty big challenge for Mom getting both of them through Disney World at the very same time to make their dreams come true.
It was a big challenge. We took one wheelchair, and it ended up we had to piggyback and put one on the other one's lap and push them around in a wheelchair. It was very hard.
But it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We took a lot of rest stops and a lot of naps.
I like going to Gatorland, and the night that we went to Magic Kingdom.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. This choo-choo train ride wasn't scary. It was fun.
It was fun, the choo-choo train ride.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Back on the driveway, Craig keeps popping in those shots and remembering the fun and excitement of dreams coming true for him and his brother. And you can help make dreams come true by taking part in the Randy Miller Golf Tournament, which is at Deer Creek on June 27th. Call 531-2535, Young Country 104 to register if you want to take part. And Friday night, July 1st, is Dream Factory Night at the Kansas City Jaycees Pro Rodeo at Benjamin Ranch. Call 761-5055 for tickets, and we hope to see you there.
And we want to remind everyone that our Harmony campaign took to the streets of downtown today, and that's why Larry and I are wearing these ribbons. During the noon hour, they were handing out all these multicolored ribbons. This is a symbol of the drive for racial and ethnic harmony in our city. The Harmony program is being credited with helping win Kansas City the All-American City designation, and Mayor Cleaver says that taking part in this is something we should all do, and this Harmony program is sponsored in part by KMBC TV.
It certainly has been a very successful program, and we're very proud to be a part of the Harmony program in Kansas City.
And now all of you know what that stands for when you see us wearing these on our lapels.
Exactly.
That is our 5 o'clock report for this Friday evening.
World News Tonight is next. We'll see you again right here at 6.
Good night.
With Worlds of Fun, Coca-Cola, and Channel 9. It's easy. Just purchase one of these 2-liter Diet Coke products. Then check the back of the label. If you find a Channel 9 logo, you could win one single-day passport to Worlds of Fun or Oceans of Fun. If you're not an instant winner, just take that label to Worlds of Fun and enjoy the rides for $9.95 on Friday and Saturday nights after 5 p.m. Summertime fun from Worlds of Fun, Coca-Cola, and KMBC TV.
Save up to 50, 60, even 70%. Now at K Furniture's warehouse sale. Save on hundreds of floor samples, closeouts, discontinued models, mismatched and as-is merchandise. Brand names like Lazy Boy, Sealy, and Serta Bedding, Flex Steel, upholstered furniture, and more reduced for immediate sell-off with no payments or interest till October. Don't miss our warehouse sale.
K Furniture, saving you more.
Considering a Toyota Camry LE? Take a few notes. Because the Honda Accord LX has a longer wheelbase. And let's see, it's got more headroom. It's got 5 more horsepower. That'll come in handy. And it goes 2 miles farther on every gallon of gas. I knew you'd like that. Most surprising of all, the Accord costs over $1,400 less than the Camry. Now, draw your own conclusions.
Looking for a Father's Day gift? TJ Maxx has big gifts, little gifts, all famous name gifts. Gifts to wear over, wear under, gifts for work and for play. Gifts to make Dad look good and smell good. And the TJ Maxx prices are very, very good. Gifts for walking, gifts for running, night gifts, right gifts, going out at night gifts. Gifts with big brand names at very small prices.